Hi, Scorpio. Thank you so much for joining me today. I appreciate you being here. My name is Emily Gear. I'm a transformative energy healer and a multi-dimensional channel, and I'll be doing your reading for this coming week, which also happens to be the week of a new moon in Cancer and a total solar eclipse, which happened yesterday. So this is a general reading, but we're going to look into the energies that are coming in for you based upon those events. And if this does not resonate with you, you're definitely going to want to check out all your sun, moon, rising, and Venus signs. Could be North Node too. And what else was I going to let you know? Oh, there is going to be a specific relationship reading, which will be in the description box below. The link to it on Vimeo will be in the description box below. I'm sorry, I got really distracted for just a second. I apologize, guys. I'm going to focus right now. So we're going to go ahead and jump into your general reading. So this could really apply to anything. It could be a relationship. It could be work. It could be creative projects. It could be family issues, friendship issues. So it really could be anything, all right? Keep that in mind as we read, or as I read. And if it's resonating, then apply it to the appropriate place in your life, okay? All right, so what messages can we get for Scorpio this week, particularly surrounding the energies coming in for the eclipse and new moon, which just took place, please, for Scorpio? Way too many. Sorry, guys. We have to keep shuffling. Okay. One flipped in the middle of the deck, and it's the Nine of Swords. I'm just going to get a little more clarity on that, but that's a very clear indication that there's a lot of like sort of anxious energy going on. I almost feel like you've got the Knight of Swords with the Empress coming up here too. Couple things coming up here. First one is there could be an air sign in your life, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, that is maybe less than tactful or maybe a little bit immature, potentially sort of a dick sometimes, or not. Or this could be you. It doesn't have to be an air sign. But I think that in some ways, they're either causing you anxiety or they're having a lot of anxiety based upon the results of or the consequences of their behavior. This might surround a mother. Okay, with the Empress coming up here, I'm getting the impression of a mother in particular. Could be a wife, but I really feel like mother. Could be a divine feminine, but I really kind of feel like mother. You might also feel like this person in your life is running from you in some way and that it is causing you a lot of anxiety. So at the end of the day, what I'm feeling like is there's a lot of like miscommunication at the moment, maybe misunderstood motives, misunderstood intentions is the word I was looking for, misunderstood intentions between you and another person, or between you and a group of people, between you and a family member. It might, and again, I'm going back to the mother or a mother figure. It could involve that. So let's see what else wants to come out for this situation. But I guess I just am feeling a little bit of heart hurt around this sort of miscommunication, misunderstanding. And so there's probably some reevaluation of that needs to be done. Or healing surrounding that, I should say. Yeah, okay. So we've got the Five of Pentacles coming up with the Moon card here. I do want to say, when I picked up the cards to shuffle it, I left one behind and it felt significant. I pulled it out. This is the Justice card. So again, as I'm just saying, there's like some reevaluation, rebalancing needed in this relationship, partnership, friendship, whatever. One of you, I'm feeling like this is them. I'm feeling like they are kind of feeling a little bit left out of your life, or sort of like, I feel like they feel very hurt and they don't really understand. I just said this, what your intentions are. So they're coming back around with the same message. If this is resonating with you, I think you're going to know exactly who this person is. This feels like something that's fairly specific to certain ones of you. And there's a little bit of separation that might be needed between you for a short period in order for you to get your bearings. So we've got the Four of Swords with the Page of Swords. This misunderstanding might also be coming about because of the separation. Like, you're not getting to, you know how when you text or email someone, the tone of your voice doesn't come through? They say some huge percentage of communication is actually in the tone and body language. So when you don't have access to the tone and body language, communication gets completely screwed up. So, I'm feeling a little bit about that. Maybe you texted somebody or wrote an email or something to somebody and it was taken wrong. And I do kind of get the feeling that both of you are a little bit hurt over this whole mishap, miscommunication. I am hearing that this could be a divine complement situation, twin flame, twin soul, whatever you want to call it, or simply a relationship, romantic relationship that's going on here. I don't know if I'm seeing this because I'm reading this out of the card or because I'm getting this intuitively right now and my ear is buzzing, so it might be that's coming through intuitively. But it might also be surrounding something that you've posted online, okay? Because the Page of Swords is coming up here with this Four of Swords, and that to me feels like first of all, this is the quote spy, the person who's watching you online sometimes, not in a creepy way necessarily. At least I don't feel like this is in a creepy way. But it's telling me that there's not a lot of other communication, that there's some kind of separation between you at this time. I'm getting next Knight of Cups with the Three of Swords, the Three of Cups, the Two of Pentacles, the Emperor, and the Devil. So first of all, there is definitely some kind of karmic thing here that we're balancing out with this. The Justice card came up and now the Devil is showing up here. I don't know if you said something in front of a group of people to somebody, which caused a lot of this heartache and pain. That's definitely a possibility. So if that's you, then, I feel like in what's going on here is there is a reconciliation that's needed via direct and compassionate communication. Direct, loving, and compassionate communication about a specific wounding or hurt that has occurred. That this can bring the joy back in, that this can heal the situation, okay? Regardless of who this is. I'm getting all kinds of flashes. Mothers, co-workers, somebody's secretary, romantic partners, all kinds of different things. And you could reverse this too, that you are the one who's been hurt by somebody else. I'm getting this feeling that there's a little bit of weight. Okay, so the next cards are the Two of Pentacles with the Emperor and the Devil. I really feel like there's some wavering on like, ooh, how do I approach this? I'm afraid. I'm afraid to be emotionally attacked over this. I'm afraid to be vulnerable. There's something about vulnerability coming up here. I'm afraid. There's a lot of fear coming in. Whether this is with you or the other person. Again, it depends on who did the thing. I guess I feel like there's some sense of not wanting to make yourself vulnerable, or not wanting to make yourself like, you feel like you're lowering yourself in a way, like to apologize or to clarify, or to show this compassion. So I think that that is the very important karmic lesson that's coming through here, is needing to learn to see vulnerability as an actual strength, okay? Because it's, even if you want to talk about not wanting to be wrong, or not wanting to admit wrongness, or like having made a mistake or something like that, the real issue at work is vulnerability, because it's vulnerable. It's extremely vulnerable to admit that you have done something incorrectly, or could have been more compassionate, or didn't do something right, or made a mistake, that you weren't right every time, that you don't know that you're not God somehow, you know what I mean? Even though I believe that each one of us has, you know, a spark of God within us, but we're here having these experiences. And I feel that one of your experiences to have and to relish even is this experience of vulnerability. And that makes a lot of sense for Scorpio too, because if that's a major energy within you, Scorpio can be very much about power dynamics, okay? And it's almost a dark power dynamic that shows up, especially with this Devil next to the Emperor here. So I think there's like a toggling, excuse me, a toggling of the balance in that energy, or the power struggle there, if there is a power struggle. I don't usually read reversals, but this came out reversed, this Two of Cups. And so that to me just shows that like something's off kilter in this dynamic between you and the other person, whoever it is. That there's a mismatch at the moment. And that doesn't mean critically long term, but right now. So there's definitely something that needs to be kind of excavated, light shone upon it, and then blown up and illuminated within the connection, so that both of you are on, or you and this group, you and this, you know, you and your mother, you and whatever, are on the same page, and can, there's a critical break in the way that you relate right now. Like you're not relating well. And that's because of this pain and this wounding, which is still right here. I want to say it's like the elephant in the room. It's the elephant in the room. It's so obvious, but no one's touching it, or no one's at least talking about it to the extent that maybe they need to be. Okay, so let's get one more card for Scorpio here, and then I'm going to pull an oracle card for you for more advice. Oh my gosh, I wanted one more card. They gave me a whole blob. So we have the Lovers with the Seven of Wands, the Nine of Wands, the Nine of Cups, the Five of Cups, the Six of Wands, and the Three of Wands. I'm actually getting from this whole mess here that, again, this idea of this miscommunication, and part of it's based on needing to be vulnerable enough to recognize the value and the gifts of the other person, what the gifts that they bring into your life. because I think that they are feeling unappreciated to an extent. They feel like everything they do is just like comes to nothing or is not noticed. This person, I feel like this is the person, but again, it could be switched. I feel like this person, as part of their process of growing, they need to come more into their own sovereignty, right? They're into their self-worth, self-value, sovereignty, being able to stand on their own 2 feet, that kind of thing. And part of that process is your process of becoming more vulnerable so that you can then show them, be a reflection to them of the ways in which they are valued, all right? They need to find that within themselves, but we also act as mirrors and like teachers to the rest of us. And so your contribution to this person's profound healing is recognizing their value in your life and humbling yourself enough to tell them that, okay, or to show them in a really honest way, okay, because so many times we do that, but it's not maybe the most honest way. Maybe we like joke it, it's like a joke, or we like shrug it off, or we like don't. This person really needs you to show them in a very profound way what you mean to them, okay? Clear up whatever misunderstanding is there. If you don't know what the misunderstanding is, but you feel the energy shift, then a conversation obviously just needs to occur, okay? And that's going to change the outcome for everything. The final card here is the 3 of Wands, and that's just really about waiting for the consequences of your actions to come in. And when those consequences are positive, this recognition brings positive consequences, okay? So I hope that makes sense to you. Let me just pull an oracle card for you. Can we get an oracle card for Scorpio, please, for this week, for the week ahead? An oracle card for Scorpio, please. Oh my gosh. Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? How are you being called to step up and lead? This is leadership. There is a critical misunderstanding in our society about the value of vulnerability in leadership. If this is something that interests you, check out Brené Brown, the author. She has she has a number of different books, but she's also like on YouTube and stuff like that. I recently read, I'm trying to remember the title of it. There is one called Dare to Lead. Yeah, Dare to Lead is the one that I read. And it is so much about vulnerability in leadership and how much that creates stable and like truly compassionate and truly supportive relationships between people in a work environment, but it absolutely translates into relationships and friendships, etc. Okay, so I hope this was helpful for you guys this week. If you decide you want to do a private session with me, either reading, energy healing, Akashic Records reading, any of those things that I do, or any combination of those things, then you can schedule that on my website, which is IamEmilyGear.com. And if you would like to, we're going to dive directly into romantic relationships, so this may come up again or it might not. So if you would like to do that, then definitely follow the link in the description box below to Vimeo. To join me in the extended, okay? Thank you guys so much for being here, and I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you soon.